FAA had reported, like on flights, had reported that there were something like 45 or 50 incidents on an airplane that were disruptive passengers.
In a day, in a month? What are we talking about?
Over a year.
Okay.
And now we are well over 1,500 in 6 months.
Yikes.
Like, dude, people are acting a fool.
Right.
Like, if they're doing it on an airplane, like, do you think they're not doing
And I feel like we've
stands?
seen that. We're playing witness to what's going on in sports. You have thousands of people getting together. And I think I submit two different incidents. One is like more of an ongoing thing and a continuation before pre-COVID, which is the woo that you hear mostly at baseball games.
To clarify, the Ric Flair.
The Ric Flair woo. Yes.
We will not demonstrate.
No, it's just like kind of drives you nuts when you're watching the game. And I know that's probably what's driving people to do it, because there are the people who hate it, like myself, haters, and then the people who are like, I'm really entertained by it. I don't care. I'm going to keep drinking and
100%.
And just woo. Yeah. Do you woo? If you go to a ball game, do you woo, Eric?
No, I'm not going to woo.
I wouldn't woo. I'm not into the wooing. But so that's kind of, but I feel like it's even higher now. Again, it was like that thing where, we didn't have it for a long time and now it's back, and now it's like, it was whatever, bearable. I'm not going to say tolerable. It was kind of bearable. Now it is intolerable. I can't stand watching a baseball game to hear that. And you even hear it from the announcers on occasion. Like, the wooers are out. Well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, you definitely hear from the announcers. I mean, even pre-pandemic, they were commenting on it.
Yeah.
Even on like national broadcasts, not just the local stuff.
Yeah.
The national broadcast.
And then the second thing, and this is just a one-time incident, and I hope it stays a one-time incident, was on that Game 6 that I said about the NHL Eastern Conference Finals, Tampa Bay and New York Islanders, is the last game that was played in that stadium. I don't remember what their arena's called.
The Nassau Coliseum.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm here for. Research.
Right. So they win
shout out
overtime.
To the marketing department on the research.
Yeah, thanks, marketing. And anyone who did not see the aftermath of that game, you should watch a video of it and just see what the crowd is doing, even if you don't care about hockey. And it's because it's even hard to describe in person, but the number of beer cans that were tossed onto the ice.
It was a lot.
It's a weird way to celebrate a win, to be honest.
I mean, it's just celebration, man. People are excited, throwing stuff
in the moment. You can chalk it up to a lot of things.
Here's the thing: is it wasn't as bad, but in Tampa, when Tampa closed it out, they did the same thing. They had a bunch of noisemakers they were handing out to fans as they were entering the stadium. A ton of those ended up on the ice.
Sure,
they won.
But is a noisemaker full of air the same as like a beer can that clearly had weight and volume to it?
I feel these noisemakers were way heavier than a beer can.
Okay.
Not a full beer can.
They seem like noisemakers are inflatable.
No, they were not the inflatable kind. They were like the plastic.
Okay. I saw that too. Yeah. So like just 2 days later, together, I saw those, and to me it looked like they're like. So yeah, it's crazy that like we have to have something just throw on the ice. That's not. It's a weird way to celebrate. I know with Hat Track,
we're not all Philadelphia. You can't just throw everything on
like
I said, arena.
I even made the comment like, thank God it wasn't Battery Day. You know?
Oh my God. By the way, Philadelphia is the worst.
Yeah.
We have any listeners in Philadelphia?
We don't anymore.
I'm not going to say sorry.
You just lost him, Eric. Yeah. Jeez. Not all Philly is all that bad, all right? I like the Eagles better than the Cowboys. I'll say that.
Stop lying.
No, it's true. It's pretty true. It's actually always true. I like the Giants better than the Cowboys. Cowboys might be my least favorite team, by the way, in that division.
They're most people's least favorite team. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
Everyone hates the Cowboys.
They're not America's team anymore. Get a grip.
They're always America's team.
They're not.
Because of all the hate. That's the point. My gosh. Haters going to hate.
It'll be interesting, though, to see full football fans then, too, on that point. But I guess just like where do we go from there? Because it does kind of feel like there's an escalation.
Yeah, well, I
mean,
the whole reason that this topic came up is because it was now there's a lot less regulation, I think, when it comes to the sidelines of this particular sport. But you brought this up, and so like tell us what like kind of brought this whole topic up to us to kind of talk about fan interference. Like, I mean, it was a huge fiasco that happened.
Yeah, so no, you're absolutely right. There's a recent incident, I think just even yesterday or it was 2 days ago, whatever the time change is over in France. But yes, the Tour de France is going on. And at the pretty early on start, I mean, it was only a minute in, if that.
Watch the video. I mean, it has to be so close to the start.
All the cyclists are very close together. So at the start of a, what do you call a day? A route, a journey?
An
event? Yeah, okay. For that day's event, I like that.
That leg of the race?
That leg of the race. A woman holding a cardboard sign, which I guess roughly translated, or it does translate to her shouting out to say hi to her grandparents, something like that. I guess really whatever's on the sign doesn't matter either way. She stuck it out too far, like by a couple feet too far, and it created a massive collision because it knocked over one cyclist that then created a domino effect and knocked over a bunch of athletes.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen a cycling crash, especially when they're bunched up
it's
together,
bad.
Even if they're not bunched up together, it bunches up real quick.
Yeah,
and people get real hurt.
Because you're trusting that your competitor in front of you is going to start.
A professional.
Yeah.
And
knows how to ride a bike.
And knows how to professionally ride a bike.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So if they go down, you're going down too.
Yeah. I mean, they're so close and packed in there. Like it gives me anxiety thinking about me physically having to do that. Like walking next to somebody.
I'm sure it is pretty hairy at first. Yeah, no doubt.
You know, kind of the same with like NASCAR. Like, man, do they get within like inches of each other? It's the same thing, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, could you imagine someone parking their Winnebago just like right on Talladega shoulder? You know, like right there, and then able to inch it a little closer.
I mean, and that's part of the problem with like Tour de France or like these rally car races is it feels like the rally car races, I think, is hysterical. They have these like, you know, thin little wooden poles and like these pennant flags like marking the side. There's all these fans standing next to it, like on
get out of the way.
Turn, and it's a rally car going like 40 or 50 miles an hour, like going over a jump, drifting around a corner.
At least in the competition of car versus spectator,
he clips a person and kills him.
Car's gonna win. Yeah, you know. So I think
they're changing so close.
But let's change. Let's change the subject, though. Not subject, but change the example even into PGA and what we just recently saw in South Carolina. The Phil Mickelson on his way to the final hole just saw this massive crowd to the point where they lost control of the crowd for security. I think it's another good example of it's worth looking up, seeing the example.
Happy Gilmore stuff, man.
It's very much like Happy Gilmore stuff. And I forgot who it was. It was Koepka, I think, who was with him, if I'm not mistaken, who was coming off of a knee injury. And he wasn't complaining so much, but he's kind of complaining.
Brooks Koepka complains a lot.
And like, some of your fans got in my way and hurt my knee again.
He complains a lot.
Yeah. Well, so like, take that for what it's worth. But at the same time, it's not invalid. He gets swarmed and swept up in a crowd of just people, spectators, who are just all excited and amped up over Phil on his way to the 18th green. And they got way too close to everyone. So eventually, like, something would, if you would continue to allow that to happen, something really terrible is going to happen.
Yeah, I think
and Tour de France is not, I don't think it's too far to say, like, well, that was really terrible. We need to draw that back. And I would not be surprised to see something dramatic happen.
Yeah, I mean, with some sort of barrier, and that's part of the problem too with Tour de France. Like, it's not.
It's like, such a long. I know you could post so up miles away.
All these, all this mileage of highway that these athlets are riding over.
Yeah, do you impose a ticket?
I mean,
you're too close. Like, there, you have to pay a fine. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
if you start throwing beer cans or heavy noisemakers on the ice, well, how do you control that?
Yeah, I mean,
at a certain point, I feel like we're flirting with disaster.
One person, it's easy.
Yeah,
but the second it becomes, 10, 15 people in a section, per like one security person for two sections, like, get out of here. It's not going to happen.
So you can take the noisemakers away, but you're not going to take their beers away.
No, they make too much money.
Right.
No, they'll start pouring them in cups, even if they are bottles.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe
that's
that'd
the thought. Right. Hey, it works at Wrigley Field.
No, I've never been to Wrigley.
You never seen the snake at Wrigley?
I've seen the snake.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. But PGA is a really good example. Like, we expect, and maybe this is just our
a decorum
in golf.
No, come on. Have you ever met golfers before? Eric,
now, new golfers are a little bit more Happy Gilmore-ish, but old golfers are definitely more of the you
get off my lawn.
You must whisper like this. He's approaching the 18th green.
Okay.
In his backswing.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. It's drifting a little bit left. Comes back right. Oh, that's a beautiful.
Oh, that's what a
beautiful
shot.
Putt right there. You just hear golf claps in the background. Fantastic shot.
You should do that professionally, Eric.
So maybe I should.
Just change career. Yeah.
Just whisper for
anyway, there was a point there. I think you were. I should let you try to finish it. Is that going to happen, or?
Yeah, I mean, with fans, like being that physically close to athletes, and just the generation that we are very accessible to these professional athletes, via social media now. I mean, it has become, they've definitely been elevated, and as these sports become more and more popular, as golf has become more and more popular, especially with the younger generation, they are going to want to get close, just kind of what happened. I'm not saying just blame this on young people. Definitely not trying to be.
No, it definitely was not the demographic.
But, I'm just generally saying is there's more and more fans attracted to these sports, and you don't necessarily have restricted boundaries, like a very hard boundary like there is in football or hockey or
even in those sports. I mean, a football fan can run across the field.
They could definitely get onto the field and run across it.
They throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's Philadelphia again, man. I expect I have the lowest expectation of that city, so nothing surprises me. Okay. But it's at least a little bit more difficult for them to get onto the field than it is in golf. Mm-hmm. Or what the Tour de France lady was. This is at the start. How are there not barricades 15 feet back at the start of the race? I get it, dude, middle of the race, these things are long. You can't put these barricades all the way down it, but
yeah, I mean, it is, man, and it's really easy.
How did that happen?
It's easy to say though, eventually it was going to happen. You let people stand that close, that get up to the edge of the sport, and not expect some kind of altercation. Not an altercation, but just an interference.
Interference.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see even floor seats in the NBA. I always look at those, when you see the highlights of a player just crashing into those seats, and whoa, I would kind of hate to be a fan on those seats. I mean, not having sat there, I bet it is pretty awesome.
Cool for an experience.
Yeah.
But
until you get a dude who's 6'10" landing in your lap,
coming flying across the court trying to save a ball and just crashes in.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that.
Yeah, that's gonna feel great.
But at the same time, to connect with that sport that you love, or you're just excited to see. I trust. I'm always an optimist. I trust in humanity to kind of do the right thing, but I think we'll see. We'll see some perhaps new rule changes, and it is ever an evolving thing that we've seen with safety in sports. Well, enough of that. How about moving gears into our Who You Got, which, Eric, you wanted to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals, who we got there, and
Stanley
the NBA
Cup
Finals.
NBA
All right,
Finals,
let's
man.
do it.
So,
I mean, there's only 6 teams to choose, right? I feel like we could do this.
Yeah.
We could do this.
Yeah, we got it, man.
All right.
Stanley Cup. I mean, it is down. We are in the finals. They start tonight as we are doing this recording. The Montreal Canadiens and Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, who you got?
I'm going to take... I feel nervous about this
Don't
pick,
clutch on this.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay.
In 7.
That's bold. Either pick is bold because Tampa Bay won last year.
They did.
And it's so hard to repeat.
It is.
So, but here they are.
And trust me, I mean, there are things about Montreal that I love. Their power play, or their penalty kill, is phenomenal. Their defense is phenomenal. And Carey Price is playing out of his mind. I mean, he is back to vintage Carey Price. And the fact that he is playing at that level, I mean, that absolutely gives Montreal a chance to win this series. and be in it the entire time. So
I'll take those exact points and say, yeah, Montreal's my pick.
Yeah.
Who you got for the NBA, though?